Holy cow, you are being a handful tonight. What is your issue? Anyway, it is Monday. It's Monday with After Hours, and my cat is like constantly like I don't know what her issue is. I've washed my hands, but apparently there's something on me that she is really grooving on. I guess it might be chicken. I had chicken marsala for dinner. You quit. Anywho, okay. So anyway, today's topic is setting up a new business venture for a writer sanctuary. Kind of just want to go over and talk about a few things I came up with over the weekend and some things that I'm kind of serious about. But my cat is like, "Can you stop licking me?" I don't know what her issue is. What is the problem? Hey, look, we're live, right? No, okay. Anywho, I do have an author interview coming up on May 19th with Sean Gregory. I'll have the blog post out for that on the 12th. He has a book coming out that following Thursday, I believe. So that'll be fun. Apparently, we have similar personality, so it might be an adventure. Well, this cat is driving me. What is your issue? Ow! Okay, enough. Stop. No. Why are you bugging? Anyway, so we're gonna give this a couple of minutes before we dive into it. Just kind of wanted to touch base and talk about some things I had planned for our sanctuary, aside from what I talked about last month of like a couple weeks ago of doing more blog posts and YouTube videos. I've got one coming out on Wednesday. That's 2 in a row. That's called a winning streak. It has happened before. So we'll see if the streak will keep going. Today was kind of fun. During the writing sprint, I started my orientation, which I'll be making a video about as soon as I'm done with the orientation for the bachelor's program. A lot of it was pretty self-explanatory. Like they had little quizzes that really didn't matter for your grade, but I scored perfect every time. A lot of it was pretty self-explanatory and common sense, but I'm hoping the rest of the courses will be like that, but I highly doubt they will. But yeah, so orientation was kind of fun today. That's what I did during the writing sprint. I wanted to work on my book cover, but I also had to do some Green Gate stuff at the very beginning, so I didn't get a chance to work on the cover. I'm hoping I'll be able to tomorrow. That's okay, because I don't think the beta readers even got past chapter 1 yet. So for all of those who aren't eating and talking over the video and haven't read the book yet. Anyway, so we're going to give this a couple minutes. And my cat is annoying the piss out of me. Shadow. Unfortunately, I can't afford anything to drink, so water with Mio it is. Oh, it has been a long week. Don't forget that if you have at least one book published and want to be part of the show and have a live author interview, the contact form on WriterSanctuary.com's website for author interviews. Just fill that out. We can set you up, get you scheduled. But in the meantime, looks like we're just going to be just the two of us tonight, Shadow. Ow! It's going to be the one of me here in a minute. What is your problem? She's like over anxious. Anyway, I need to go through and figure out what topics are better because it seems like the behind the scenes stuff and the extra stuff just doesn't work very well. So I also still need to set up the spreadsheet for topics for Monday night's show, which I haven't done yet, obviously. But the cat is driving me nuts. Quit. What's funny is that she's going to hit the mute button on the microphone. Can you do something, please? Okay. Well, I guess we'll jump right into it. I'm not really sure what to talk about, really, aside from turning WriterSanctuary into a business. I started thinking about why would I want to do that. Most of the stuff that I have planned for it, I can do right now. So I'm not 100% sure, aside from the tax benefit, of why I should start one. Aside from qualifying for business loans to afford all kinds of investments that I can't really afford right now. Of course, I can also get loans to do that. So, yeah. Oh, shadow. Anywho, um, the whole idea behind WriterSanctuary was to help people figure out their path, their lot in life as writers, whether it's freelancing, blogging, or self-publishing, which is why I cover all three on the blog and the YouTube channel. I started focusing more lately on helping indie authors, self-publishing people that want to get their book out without having to pay an arm and a leg or sell their soul to a vanity publisher who's just going to scam them. So, a lot of the premise behind what I do centers around that. But another benefit to starting a business model, I guess, would be to keeping the assets and the income organized. It's like right now I have to manage everything personally. Guess it'd make it even worse if I started a business though, because then I'd have to have two different ledgers. So I don't really see the. I'm talking myself out of having a business. Actually, I miss having one. I used to run the Off Computer Center for 4 years. That was a lot of fun. Um, then I had a liquor store in Idaho, which was showing a profit, but extenuating circumstances caused me to shut that down because I wanted to get people out of my life that were in it. So, yeah. But it's been a long time since I've actually owned a business outside of just being a freelance writer. Um, sole proprietor, and I really never set up a business for it. I just keep recording everything. So, it's been a long time since I've had a business. I miss it. I don't know if it's the interaction with people that I miss, because I had a lot of fun in the liquor store doing that, and the computer center. Or I don't know what got it into me. Like I went in and bought something, and it just I don't know. I remember all the times where I had to buy inventory and keep track of all that stuff, and I kind of miss it. For me, it was a lot of fun. Now I probably won't have all of the inventory and whatnots with a writing company. I'm not really sure what to do with it. I know that, like with Megan Grant, she did freelancing um, and had her own company. She made bank as a business owner for writing content for clients, and had people work under her. I don't know if I want to go that route though. Like I love freelancing; it gave me my start, but freelancing isn't what I wanted to do all my life. It was great, but I'm an author. I'm a blogger, so I would like to retire from freelancing. So it's a little bit different than Megan Grant's position. You definitely get to interact with more people than you do now. Oh yeah, well, no doubt. Um, I don't know, maybe if I keep with the same business model. Oh look, she left me. She left me to go attack Max. She is wound today. Max is like 3 times her body size, so awful big for your britches there, little girl. Anyway, so now Max is over here. Why? Why is everybody bugging tonight? What do you need? Hmm? Max isn't as bad as a shadow, though. Like, if I put my hand on the mouse, she'll start moving my hand around. But anyway, Um, I guess one of the cool things about having a business would be the power to do more from a perspective of a business. I'm trying to think of what would that entail though, outside what I do now. I don't know. It's really hard. Once you've been self-employed, like I've been self-employed since 2013, so I'm not really seeing much more of turning WriterSanctuary into an actual business because it wouldn't really change much. I guess. Well, I guess it would because one of the drawbacks to setting all this up would be I'd have to dump like all the blogs that I do, um, the blogs and the YouTube channels, aside from this one, uh, because it's going to take a lot of time to get started. But as someone pointed out to me, um, it would be more of putting them on hold because then at a certain point I'll be able to afford to do all the cool things I wanted to do with them in the first place, such as hiring writers, which would be awesome. I don't know. Writer Sanctuary LLC. Actually, I was thinking about forming a C corp. I've had C corps before. I prefer a C corp, mostly because in the past I created C corps because it's the corporation's assets. So even if you personally did something and fucked up your finances, no one could put a lien on the corporation because the corporation is a separate entity. So the corporate you put all the assets under a corporation and nobody can touch it. So hey, Coffee Create and Connect, how's it going? Been working on my novel most of the day. Awesome. I was going to earlier during the writing sprint, but I got hung up on the orientation for college. So, but I got quite a bit of it done. A lot of content ideas, though. But since my dog is finally snoring away, trying to squeeze in a little more revision time. Nice. How is everyone doing tonight? I'm doing good. Talking about turning Writer Sanctuary into a business and the different things I would like to set up for it. Um, yeah, that's about it. Tomorrow, during the writing sprint, I'm hoping to get back to working on um the book's cover. I'm working on Shadows at Atlantic City, and I like how the cover's coming along, but I want to design a few while I'm waiting on the beta readers just to see which one works best. But since I was in orientation today, I'm doing the first welcome to SNU videos. I didn't get a chance to work on it, so kind of a bummer. Taking a break from weed whacking. Good time. I need to do that. I looked outside earlier and realized just how green my weeds are getting. So, unfortunately, I'm also growing mint in the backyard. So I got to be careful because the mint is growing up in between the weeds. And I don't want to pull the mint out. Mr. Michael, my stuff is off topic. People have been sliding in Michael's DMs lately. Yeah. Yeah. I bring up I even say the word book cover on social media, and everybody and their dog comes out. The sad thing is that, all these artists who want to do my book cover, they do a lot of anime and cartoony type stuff, and I'm not into that. So what I would like is something more aligned with, I don't know if anybody here knows anything about Dungeons and Dragons, but it was like from the 90s, that kind of art style. More of an artistic painted pictures. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but not cartoony. So way more detail on them. It's in his Substack article. Yeah. Yep. I mentioned it today in Substack, but there's nothing wrong with it. There's a lot of people out there that like the cartoon style and the anime style, and that's fine. I don't. So I try to be diplomatic and tell people, sorry, I can't really afford anything at this time, but I'll keep you in mind. Which is true. I don't have the money to hire anybody, which is part of why I'm setting up a business. I play around with the Starry AI app. Oh no, an AI artist. So book covers, what do we? love or not love about covers. Um, yeah, that's the only thing that really um I'm not a big fan of is the AI, or not the AI, but the cartoon anime style. I don't, you know, I'm not like that, or I'm not liking that. Instead, I've taken to Photoshop and I've been finding real pictures, and I've been using Photoshop since 1995, so I'm not lacking. But what I wanted to create, I can't do because of I found out it's copyright, so I can't do it. But I think what I got going on is it's different. So hopefully I get back to working on it tomorrow. But that's one thing I would like to add to the company though, or for the business that has been setting up. I've been like working for the past few days on the things I'd love to add to my business. Um, I got to playing around with pre-made covers, and um, I brought up the conversation on social media today. Was it today or yesterday? About using pre-made covers. You get a pre-made cover and then challenge yourself to write a story regarding what the picture is. I think it'd be fun. And then I started thinking, I can add that to my business. Like have artists put up pre-made covers and then sell them to indie authors. Um, and take like far less of a percentage. The idea is to kill Amazon. That's my end game goal. I would love to take books away from Amazon. So I would like charge dirt cheap prices. I recently saw one where the proportions were so off, the cover totally turned me off. Yeah, it's some of the AI art is just. I'd rather hire an artist, a real person. That's because I like the idea of personal style and talent. I support human artists. So now I think it's fun to play with AI sometimes because you can get some. I saw one on Threads where someone took pictures that kids drew and put them into AI, and those are some creepy creatures. It was pretty funny, but I would never use AI from a professional perspective, aside from maybe crunching some numbers and getting ideas for videos or blog posts, um, or going through and editing my book. AutoCred's AI, all it does is highlight all the redundancies, repeat words and phrases, and then you just go through and fix all that. And but like every automated system, you never want to just change whatever anything says, because some AI and automated systems like AutoCrit and Pro Writing Aid, Grammarly, none of those take in style, nuance, and um, emotional context. And so we can't really use AI fully and change whatever it says, because then it just reads like an IKEA manual. So you do have to um, take a little bit of time and read the context before you change things. But AutoCrit is quite helpful because I do have a problem with redundancy and repeat phrases. And so I found a bunch. And so I was able to go through and fix a lot of it. So let's see. Like the size of that guy laying on the ground compared to his dog next to him made me think the dog must be ridiculously big, even for a large breed. Yeah. Um, doesn't see. I don't feel like a complete pervert some shows. Oh, we're all just a little bit perverted here. My brain is always complete pervert. I'm a watercolorist and oil painter. Awesome. My dad loves oil painting. I can't sell it anymore except for commissions. Oop. Oh, Jesus Christ. I got Max in my lap, shadows on my shoulder. There's going to be a cat fight in my lap. Let's see. I also love to paint, but I'm into acrylic. I am a big fan of acrylic. I do have oil paint, but I find it very challenging to use. I generally will paint something in acrylic and then maybe add a little oil accent. The reason I haven't bought new canvases is because I have all these paintings just sitting in my house, not really sure what to do with. It definitely harder for artists since AI, in my personal opinion. Yeah, I agree. Everybody wants AI crap, and it's just It's sad. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the bottom part of it. But I have a print from an oil painter in Canada, and it's she does photorealism, and the picture is one of my favorite scenes from Deep Space Nine. It's Captain Sisko holding a glass of whiskey, in the pale moonlight, and that is one hell of an episode. And my daughter got it for me for Christmas, so it was pretty awesome. But she oil paints, and that's a print of her painting. Shaw said, "Go away, spend out bread nearby." No, no. What I've got is Shadow on my shoulder, Max in my lap, and I think Dagger was just over here. Banana is upstairs. I'm painting a few horse portraits and some signs for homes. Awesome. Well, oh God, Jesus. I'm being used. I have cats all over me. Ask myself, do I invest in Reedsy or AutoCrit for the book I'm going to write before I'm 82? Hopefully you do it before you're 82. Both, I'd say. I love the Reedsy platform, and AutoCrit has been incredibly helpful. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but it was. It helped me quite a bit. And since it doesn't write anything for you, it just highlights the words that you need to fix. You don't have to worry about AI writing stuff for you. So, I also have horses. I went to agricultural high school. We had horses, cows, sheep, and so on. But I bred come down. We want to see you too. No, I have enough animals. Um, for rating 8 on AutoCrit, I would say AutoCrit is a little more thorough. Yeah, AutoCrit has a lot of stuff to it. That's one of the things I liked about it. I have tried Pro Writing Aid. I prefer, out of the two, I would prefer Grammarly, but that's only because I've been using Grammarly for so long. It's what I'm used to, and I can rip through it, and works perfect in WordPress. AutoCrit has a lot of really cool and fun tools to it. Like, I love comparing my style to Stephen King. I don't really compare myself to Stephen King, but it is kind of fun to see the difference in style. And so that kind of stuff is kind of fun. But AutoCrit has made a big difference. We both have advantages, but the paid options, yeah. Recently used our manuscript analysis tool, and I was pretty impressed by the stuff it's pulled up. Yeah. Some of the story aid stuff is a little weird. Like when you put in how the story should be finished up to a certain point, and some of them are just off the wall, but one of them was actually really close to what the story was actually going to be, so that was kind of impressive. Now I point out some important things that I needed to change, but I did make a mistake mixing up two of my characters at one point. Overall, I thought it was super helpful and to get that, yeah. Feedback in a matter of minutes was pretty awesome. Yes, it doesn't take very long for AutoCrit to scan through it. You get a free credit when you get the paid option. You can use it once, and I used it for the manuscript analysis, which is about a $30 value. I paid for the entire year, so it was $180. But I'm still, it's kind of expensive, but it's not. You don't just get the editing tool; you also get access to a lot of the community stuff as well, which I haven't had time to play with it. But they did have a lot of classes there. And now it has the ability to, you can print a book directly, not print, but you can export an ebook directly from AutoCrit now. They didn't have that when I first started, so I'll be making a video about that. But I just don't like the marginless text writing of it. It's like Atticus in that aspect. Like, Atticus has great formatting tools, but I wouldn't write a book in it. When I imported my book from Reedsy, and then I did the editing, and then I exported it from AutoCrit and imported it back into Reedsy, and all of the indents and everything, Reedsy picked everything up perfectly. Yeah, all the chapter names, it was a seamless transfer. So yeah, it's definitely worth it, I think. And like I said, found all my redundancies, which I had a lot of. So anyway, that's kind of off topic. But that's kind of stuff I would like to help with Writer Sanctuary. What that's it is the stuff I help with Writer Sanctuary. Is I would like to help indie authors avoid getting scammed by like vanity publishers and whatnot. One thing I would love to do is book printing with the emboss and the leather books, but I went through and priced all that. The very minimum, it's like $350,000 for this long ass printing thing, plus all the side dillies for doing the embossing and the leather. So that's probably going to be further down the road. That's expensive. That was for the German one. I can't remember the name of it. But I've been trying to find where I can get them. Like there's some from Xerox, and there's one. What's it? Espresso printing machine or something like that. I can't remember. Espresso book machine, something like that. But I can get like book binding printers left and right, but I need the whole shit and shebang. But yeah, that's expensive. So that'll probably be the last thing on my list. It's part of your business tools. It's on topic. Well, I guess it is. Like one of the things I'm doing on Writer Sanctuary's blog is to I'm trying to create like a massive list of resources for authors. So like writing apps, editing apps, book cover places, printing alternatives, whatnots. So I'm working on a big list. So Starbucks write us, yeah. Espresso. Yeah, it'd probably burnt if it was. I just got rid of Max. What now? My God, don't you have a hobby? I took bookbinding at college. Very time consuming. I make some gifts and people say it's too nice of a book to use. Nice. Well, yeah. Some of the bookbinding machines themselves aren't that expensive, but I need to print the damn thing out. So, and then the espresso one looks like it'd work. I can do 150 to 200 books per hour. Then I'd have to hire somebody to do it. So I don't know. That's down the line, but that is definitely on my to-do list because I would love to offer printing services for indie developers, indie creators that is outside of Amazon that isn't going to charge buku bucks unless you buy 1,000. So I am a philanthropist. I want to take a bookbinding course. It's really cool. If you use the espresso machine thing, you just push a button. It does it all itself. I watched the video do it. It's kind of cool. It dips it in glue and then funk into the cover. And then pushes it and then rotates and then cuts off the extra. So that was pretty neat to watch it do it. It's an expensive machine, but I don't know if I'll be able to get a business loan for that. So anywho, some of the things I wanted to do with the business also includes online and offline courses. Granted, I'm still working on my bachelor's for creative writing, but I am an expert in WordPress, blogging, and freelance writing. So I can at least do those and feel comfortable that I can offer a decent course. Not to mention, I could probably do a 101 to book writing, considering I did the Easy Masterclass of how to write a novel. That was a brilliant class, by the way. And I'm looking forward to sharing everything I do for this for the bachelor's degree. So looking forward to it. There are lots of videos here that teach bookbinding. Yes, YouTube is I swear, the sum of human knowledge can be found on YouTube. I saw the series You on Netflix. I don't want to be a killer, but wouldn't mind doing more with books. Yeah. Oh, damn it, cat. Why? Can't you find something better to do with your time? Go find the dog. Anywho, well, I'm like lost now. All right. Anywho, so I'm like, what do you think would be some good ideas for a writing business? Like, I don't want to do, like I said, I want to veer away from freelancing. Um, I want to retire from being a freelancer. I would love to do more with blogs and books. So, damn it. You stop biting me. I'm gonna put this. Yes, I love you too. Billboard digital cards for WriterSanctuary. Yeah, billboard. Writing retreat. Ooh, that would be fun. Anything to get out of the house. We're going to have a writing retreat to McDonald's. That's I'm good for that. Yeah, I didn't even think of that one. Where's my book? Okay, so here's my notebook that I've been working on ideas. That I never thought about doing a writing retreat. We can do a fire festival, only without the clusterfuck, I guess. Make a note of it. Yeah, I did. That'd be fun, especially if we can get some if we can get some big name authors to attend, that'd be awesome. But I'm a nobody at the moment, so trying to get somebody popular would be extremely difficult, especially since I don't have the money for it. So, hopping off to get some work in. Be back to chat soon. Well, good luck, coffee, create, and connect. Enjoy your book. I know I am like I swear I'm one of the few authors on Threads that loves editing. I love my books. I've never once thought to my book, oh, this one sucks. Ever since I published A Freelancer's Tale, I've been jazzed about every single thing I write. And so I guess I kind of get it from a certain perspective because imposter syndrome can lay waste to your motivation. But once you get that first book out, I love everything I write. I love editing. I love polishing up my stories. So I took a free online course on setting up and marketing a retreat. Nice. I didn't know they had those either. um, so I guess that goes along with the online and offline courses. There was one more that I had. What was the writing contest? That's another one. What really started feeling the fire for it was a writing contest. I was looking for. I'm setting up a blog post for WriterSanctuary on where you can submit flash fiction to for writing contests, and I'm almost done with it. And so I'm thinking some of these some of these businesses are making bank off the writing contest and offering some hefty prize money in addition to it. So that'd be actually could be kind of fun. Like with Readsy writing contest, the weekly writing contest, you have the ability to earn $250 for winning for prize money, and then getting added to the prompted literary magazine. So there's an additional to your resume. So I started thinking it'd be kind of fun to do stuff like that, and I could charge a nominal commission or a nominal fee to it for submissions, like everybody else does. Yeah. Of course, I can't enter those because that would be conflict of interest, but I think it'd still be fun to hold them, to be honest. I have to find some judges that are unbiased. But I think it'd be fun. Maybe promote the winner on the website and the bookstore, and free credits for helping with advertising on Facebook ads and Amazon ads. I don't know, we could probably come up with some cool stuff. Would recycle paperwork and bookbinding. There are 4 acres separate at the back of the farm. I want to set up a hip camp and offer art retreats as part of it. Sweet. out in the back in the farm. That's a horror story waiting to happen. I hear the makings of a novel. Convince all these people to attend a retreat and then kill everybody. Oh, man, you're covering me in hair. Yeah. I chose the book. If you're making the effort to buy the book, make sure the paper is acid-free. Oh yeah, I guess if you want to like do leather-bound books, probably talk to the people at Renaissance festivals. That's where I don't know if you can see it, but that one there is from the festival, and that's leather, hand-bound. Non-virgin shouldn't go based on horror films. Yeah. Right? Like, could you call Friday the 13th romance horror? If you're gonna go with a smile. Yeah. Like I said, the downside to doing all this though would be putting Colorado Plays and Crossing Colorado on the back burner and then put more effort into setting everything up. Like I would love to set up a social media platform. Like there's so many of them out there, but set one up specifically for authors and readers, and at the same place where they can buy books and do the writing contest, like an all-in-one, an all-encompassing social site would be kind of cool, I think. Or stick with a retreat, not camp. Jason would be pissed. Yeah, it's only a retreat, man. We're only here for a couple hours. Well, I guess it depends. Some retreats can last all weekend. You'd be one of those angry women retreats and go and scream and smash sticks against the wall, or against the road. I think a lot of people can probably associate with that more nowadays. Anywho, yeah, I don't know. It's the only thing that I can't do right now is the printing. Like everything on my list of what I want to do, there's really nothing stopping me except for time, a lack of time. So maybe it'd be worthwhile to put things on the back burner and then start generating some revenue so I can hire some writers to help me build up the other two websites. I would love to have a video editor. That would save me a chunk of time every day. Massive chunk. Get the warehouse to build a retreat with a bar. See? That would be awesome. I need to get my warehouse, and then we can just do a writer retreat here in Denver, complete with an open bar. We can do a $100 cover charge for everybody coming, and that covers all of your liquor and everything. A bunch of drunk authors. That's all we need. More of a party place than anything. Oh, we'll talk about writing. I don't know. I think a retreat would be really fun. And there's a lot of places we could do it here in Colorado. We do that up in the mountains. It'd be beautiful up there. Oh, or see if we can set it up at Red Rocks. That'd be fun. I don't know if we can do that though. But yeah, I don't know. There's all kinds of things we can do. I just so what would slow me down from doing it now? Time. Time is the fire in which we burn. I don't have a lot of it. I'd have to set a lot of stuff on the side and go all in with WriterSanctuary, I guess. But out of everything that I'm doing, it probably has the best potential to make anything out of itself. Like, I don't know if I want to go the whole being a publishing company route. or maybe I could, and then take all the good that's in all these different publishing things and combine them into one, or figure out what everybody else is doing wrong and don't do that. So I don't know. It's something that's been weighing heavily on. Like, I've been thinking about setting up WriterSanctuary as a business for quite some time. This is the first time that I've actually got this close. I mean, I even gone through and set up a mind map, um, a different mind mapping for turning WriterSanctuary into a business. Because there's a lot of fun things that could come from it. I would love to get the warehouse and set up the bar, and then have the author interviews, especially here locally. Have authors actually come and we can sit down and at the bar for a professional looking backdrop instead of this, which isn't like bad. It's just haphazard. So I don't know. There's hmm, no, maybe I should. And it wouldn't cost much to set up a C corp. I think it's like $20 for the license, or 60 or something like that. It's depends on the year. It's an odd year, so I think it's cheaper during the odd years. Set up a C corp here in Colorado, and then have all of its money for WriterSanctuary. That's the blogs and the YouTube and everything, the affiliate income. Have it all funneled into WriterSanctuary's own bank account, and then it can pay for its own stuff. Of course, I won't be able to quit being a freelancer until WriterSanctuary can pay me a little bit more than what I'm making now, and that'd be great. Fancy, go for it. Yeah, I'm telling you, that would be awesome. We could set up the warehouse and build a bar to it, and I would love. One of my ideas was to have every author who does an interview bring their favorite liquor in and sign it, and then put it up on the bar, so we have a bunch of different autographed liquors or drinks. So if somebody doesn't drink alcohol, they can bring in their favorite pop and just autograph it, and just have a collection that grows over time. I think it'd be fun. Starting with mine, is it going to be Drambuie or Fireball? So I got a lot of cool ideas of things I want to do. I just don't know if I need to, like, the benefits of actually having a business and not just doing it because of the hell of it. I mean, there's really nothing stopping me from doing it now, except for lack of funds and lack of time. So I guess what it really all boils down to is, what am I willing to sacrifice in order to build all this? Because there's a lot of things that I would have to give up that mean quite a bit to me. But like I said, it would only be temporary until I can afford to hire some help. Author liquor, yeah. See, I'm telling you, that'd be awesome. It'd be cool. I can see it in my head. So depends on how soon you want to build it. Tomorrow. Yeah. That's one of the hard things about being me, is when I make a decision to do something, I do it immediately. I don't like to waste time. And so, like, if it's in my head to do it, there's a good chance I would say fuck tomorrow and set up the C corp, because I have enough money at the moment to do that, because I got paid out from YouTube a whole $105. So I have enough money right now to set up the license. You're not giving them up, but you're just temporarily putting other things first so that they can thrive later. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, if we can still do some of the things, like the podcast for Crossing Colorado, we can still do that. I could teach Sam how to upload them to Spotify. And then I would love to turn Writer Sanctuaries into an actual podcast where we're not just dicking around all day. At least get the author interviews up on a podcast. But like, if I can get enough money scraped up where I can hire somebody like Robert, one of my author writers for Green Geeks, hire Robert or even one of the boys to write an article once a week for Colorado Plays for the gaming channel, or for the gaming content, just to get things rolling. So I wouldn't be closing them down. It's just putting everything on pause yet again. But before I put things on pause, it wasn't really for any purpose. It was just getting, I don't know. I know that with Crossing Colorado, it was my flagship for the longest time. And then Google's Medic update sank it. And after that, my heart just wasn't in it. And so it's really, I feel like I'm giving up on it, even though I'm really not. I hate giving up on things because I never give up. So when I do say, okay, I'm doing this, I know it's not giving up fully, but it does, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's triggering. It just makes me feel bad. But you can make but you can get the warehouse now. I can't do I around. Mine fell off decades ago, or it never developed. I can't dick around. Oh. I can't dick around now. Mine fell decades ago. All right. No, you can't get the warehouse. Okay. Okay, so let's try that whole sentence again. But you can't get the warehouse now. I can't dick around. Mine fell off decades ago or never developed. There we go. Depends. If I get a decent loan, business loan, I could probably build it. Probably not tomorrow, but within the next few days, I can start building it. But I'd have to figure out a way to make money exceptionally quickly because I would have to figure out a way to pay that loan. That's where the problem comes. Because the ad revenue alone from the blog and the YouTube channel would not cover a loan payment. So we'd have to do something like almost immediately that would generate some revenue. And that's probably where I can flap around. Really? Okay, whatever. But that's probably where the biggest concern comes from, is that what can I do that would bring in enough to pay a business loan or pay the rent on a warehouse or anything really. Because with the blog and the YouTube channel combined, it depends on the day, but I make anywhere from $3 to $10 per day with both the blog and the YouTube channel combined. That's not a lot. Get done with college first? Yeah, but I'll be like 56. I don't know if I can wait till finishing college to do it. If I can do them both, I'd have to set a block of time. Well, I already have a block of time for the college stuff. It's the same time I use for writing. But so you won't be 106. No, I'll be 56. If I go for my master's, I'm going to say I'm 48 now, 52. I'll probably be about 54 by the time I get my master's. And so that's a long time. I don't want to wait that long. Yeah, so I don't know. There's a lot of things I have to consider. But one of the biggest ones I want to do is the book printing. I would love to kill off Amazon printing and compete with a lot of places. Make it affordable for indie authors. There's a lot of things that go on, like especially like with Amazon's new AI feature to summarize a series. That is one thing that I would be very against is generative AI, and I don't want anything to do with it with my company, aside from data analysis and ideation. That's different. But I will generative AI. If AI writes any part of your book, you are not an author. You are a prompt jockey. The computer is the author. That's how I feel. So I would definitely put a kibosh on the AI shit. But I don't know. There's there's a gray area for AI, I think. I just, you know, it's not 106 years old. You have 20,000 things on your plate. Finish some of the food. Let the food digest before you add dessert. No, just scrape off the food to the dog. Then I can fit more on it. Yeah, you can set up a retreat at a hotel resort. Free to make a website and promote. Get 20 people or so. See, I don't even have to make a free website. I have 5 domains. More than that. I have plenty of websites. I can do a subdomain easily off of that. Especially if we're doing a writing retreat, I can link it directly to WriterSanctuary or michaelbrockbank.com. So a lot of that's already done. I just have to make the page for it. So I do like that idea, Lily. That'd be fun. Wonder how we can get more people to go to it. Meet me in person. One of my favorite compliments came from KDC. He hasn't been around lately, but he came to visit us a couple of years ago, and we took him out to Who Hot, and he said it's like meeting one of your favorite celebrities. I'm like, it made me. I don't know. It was an awesome compliment, but it made me feel weird because I've never viewed myself as a celebrity. So, I don't know. We can figure something out, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are churning. But I do have a lot of things on my plate. But if I put a lot of stuff I want to do on the back burner for now, then I can put way more time into Writer Sanctuary, and I can build it up, probably to a point where it needs to be to actually generate some decent income. That's why I shut it down in the first place, is stabilized one brand at a time. And I talked about doing this before, and I didn't do it. So stabilizing one at a time to a point where it can pay for itself. And I tried to be a buckaroo bonsai, and I'm spread too thin. I guess I'm not as awesome of a machine as I thought I was. But it is what it is. So, yeah, along with the writing contest, I do like the writing retreat. I still want to set up an online and offline bookstore. That's another part of the business I want to do. The offline, or both bookstores, will be focused on indie writers, indie authors. There's a few indie bookstores here, but I want to take it a step further. I want to try to push it as hard as I can online, especially with advertising. Because I've dealt with a lot of businesses over my career, and marketing is make or break for just about everything. So I know that Reedsy says, "Oh, if you want to sell more books, you need better editing." Like, not necessarily, because if you have shit for marketing, no one's going to know the book is there to buy it in the first place. Editing helps with getting 5-star reviews, but to sell the book outright, not necessarily up front. So marketing is definitely far more important if you want to sell books. If you want to sell good books, then yes, editing. But if no one knows it exists, no one's going to buy it. So I would love to do more marketing for not just my books, but for other indie authors as well. Maybe do something like with for consignments. I've done a few consignments before at the computer center with the electronics and whatnots, especially when we had the eBay store. That was so much fun. So I know how to do all of that stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different wheels turning. What do you guys think? Think I should just leave well enough alone and keep doing what I've been doing and cross my fingers that something works? Or should I double down on this business idea and see what we can do with it? Because I would like to see what I can do with the business today. Especially if I can get a printing machine. That would be a kicker. It's on your head. I don't see you leaving it alone. Nope. Probably not. It'll sit there, if I decide not to, it'll still be something that's in the back of my mind. So, topic for part of a retreat, marketing books. Yeah. I need to do what works best for you. That's just it. At this point, I don't know what works best for me. Right now, nothing's working best for me. No, I can't say that. I've had a lot of fun. WriterSanctuary's YouTube channel, it's been growing. I love doing the interviews with authors. I know it'd be fun is to get do a retreat and invite some of the authors that have been on the show to talk at the retreats. I do like that retreat idea, Lily. That's going to be. I want to underline it. I mean, if people like, what's his name? Incel, Andrew Tate. It's not really an incel, but I'm not a big Andrew Tate fan. But if some of these guys can convince people to spend so much money on this kind of stuff, then maybe somebody who's legitimate has a better chance, I guess. Because I whistled quite a bit on that last one. Oh, I don't know. It's a lot of things to consider here. Like I've been breaking down what everything, things that would need to change, and the only way I'm going to be able to do it is if I set aside all my side projects, which is not necessarily a bad thing. None of them make any money, so it's not like I'm losing anything. I think Crossing Colorado and Colorado Plays makes maybe 5 cents a month on ad revenue right now. Neither YouTube channel's monetized. Colorado Plays' YouTube channel starting to pick up a bit. It's getting a few subscribers, but it's still nowhere near being monetizable. So, I don't know. If I double down on Writer Sanctuary, I'd get more blog posts out, more YouTube videos out. I'd be able to focus more on shit that helps you guys, such as different writing apps and all the, I have a ton of products that I want to review. That would probably get about as much traffic as some of the other ones I've done. So, I mean, overall, if I double down on it, worst case scenario, you guys are going to be getting way more content. So, off topic, what does everybody think about the whole Katy Perry space situation? I couldn't care less. Just more rich people burning fuel to go play around in space for 30 seconds just to come back down. I don't know. There's a lot better things they could have done with their money. But aside from that, I don't see the controversy. I don't give a shit. When the retreat is over, have some follow-up planned, a Zoom meeting, and anonymous feedback with some good questions. Definitely don't make it Fire Festival. That Fire Festival and Fire Festival 2. I mean, I can just... There's people out there that'll pay big money to do all that without evidence of anybody showing up. But I'm not that kind of guy. I can't just screw people. I have to offer something fun. But yeah, I really like that whole retreat thing. Maybe we can invite Katy Perry. Instead of space, how about you hang out with us in Colorado? It'd be a better use of your time. Anyway, yeah. Okay, well, I got a little bit off my chest, I guess. Sorry, it wasn't really riveting content, I guess, tonight. But it's, it's something that might just come out of it. So I would really love to do writing contests relatively soon. I think it'd be really fun. Maybe I missed some of the chat, but have you ever thought about hosting a virtual retreat? Actually, not virtual, but Lily brought up doing a in-person retreat. So I don't know about virtual. I didn't hear about it until days later. Still reads pipe bill. Yeah, right. It's a distraction from what is really going on. I didn't care about the space trip. The economy is broke, but the billionaires send people to space because why? Yeah, I get it. That's what I don't care about. It's like, you know, I couldn't care less. Whatever. They're wasting money. Whatever. The only thing I care about is that the amount of CO2 they put into the atmosphere for that pointless spacewalk. Well, each their own, I guess. Yeah, I think they're getting way more crap for it than they should. I mean, yeah, it was a waste of time and money, but it was their money and time to waste. So, I think they're getting way too much shit for it, but I just don't care. That's how I feel too, as far as things like the space trip or the Blake Lively situation just being things to distract us from what's actually going on. Yeah. That's another thing. It doesn't impact me. So, whatever. I don't get sucked into celebrity drama, I guess. I just don't care. Oh, anywho, so I have some things to think about. I like the retreat idea. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to. I think the only thing that's slowing me down is I'm going to put everything on hold after making such a big deal about it this year. But I think doubling down on WriterSanctuary, even if I don't turn it into a business, doubling down on the content itself for YouTube, especially the different apps I want to use to review, the different things I want to create videos on. Doubling down on all of that is going to make me more money no matter what. And at that point, I can use that money to hire writers to help me rebuild Crossing Colorado and Colorado Plays. So maybe even if I don't turn WriterSanctuary into a corporation, maybe it would still be worthwhile to stabilize one and then move on to the next, which is what I should have done 5 years ago. Yeah. Lots to think about. Let's see, to me, more than the drama, it's about the environmental impact of these private jets, yeah, and these dumbass space joyrides, and it's about the destruction that it creates to keep people from being knowledgeable about what is actually going on, but of course, just my own opinion. Yeah, it is. They were quite, what's the word? Out of touch. So the world's going to hell, and not politically, I'm talking about environmentally. I mean, we're having consistent hottest years on record. Hurricanes are increasing in severity. The permafrost is melting, which isn't supposed to, by definition. But hey, let's send up a bunch of celebrities in a rocket. That's okay. Like George Carlin says, the plant's going to be here long after we're gone. It's going to shake us off like a bad case of fleas. Anywho, and add in-person and virtual retreat along with writing contest. Virtual retreat. Like I wrote the writing retreat down, so we'll add virtual. I'll have to look that up. I don't know if if that would be the same, if that would have the same impact, because we'd probably have to do Zoom meetings and shit. And I don't know. I would much rather do shit in person. I know that virtual meetings and virtual like this here is very convenient, but I am the type of person I thrive from a professional perspective. I thrive when I'm in person. I hate my phone. If I can get away without using a phone, I would. So I mean, we can try it, but I don't know. I'll have to look it up and see how that's going to go. Have a great night. Going to hop off to finish up some work before bed. Hope to see you next time. It's a crazy world. Try to stay safe out there. You too. coffee. Don't forget that I'll be doing writing sprints Tuesday and Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. So have a good evening. I made a short parody of Markle's show, but people didn't know there was a show, so they didn't know it was a gentle joke. Now I feel silly for doing it. Yeah, that's... Yep. Sometimes it just the good jokes just aren't gonna land. I've done a few of those. Not on social media, but I made a few jokes where the company I was with didn't get it because they had no clue what the hell I was talking about. So it happens. Everyone is more focused on person. Yeah. So for the virtual retreat, so it'd be like I'm thinking like we do the virtual videos for WordCamp. And it's not necessarily a retreat, but more of just like a webinar type thing, I guess. If both parties take it seriously, the virtual meeting could be a good way to connect. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely add that to my list of stuff to research this week. So, I don't know, there's a lot of things that I guess the biggest question now is to decide whether I want to put everything on pause for now. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea, to be honest. Especially if I want to retire from freelancing. WriterSanctuary would be the best way to do it. It's got far more potential right now. I don't know. Lots to think about. Anywho, let's do our card for the week. I believe I put this one on community tab, but if not, last week's daily affirmation was, I remember the challenges my literary idols faced and overcame and reflect on how different the world would be had they not found the courage to tell their stories. I think I fucked this up last time I tried to read it. I'm a much better writer than I am a speaker. Sorry. I did put that in the community tab because I made a comment. If I remember, I can't remember if I made the comment on the community tab or if it was the video where I said that, like with Stephen King, he threw away Carrie and his wife pulled it out of the trash. So this week's daily affirmation: make the in-person one have more of an incentive to get people to come. Give them something that the virtual meeting wouldn't offer. Yeah, definitely. How can we sweeten the pot? Guess it depends on how much we do the cover charge for. Everybody gets free shots. Free open bar. I know a lot of authors that would come just for that. Ooh, liquor. Alrighty. This week's daily affirmation is, when I miss a day of writing, I miss the opportunity to grow greater in my craft. True. I miss the chance to shift this world just a bit in favor of my life's theme. When I miss a day of writing, I miss myself. I feel like that a lot, actually. Not necessarily being able to shift the world in my favor of my life's theme, but more of practice makes perfect. That's why I built WriterSanctuary in the first place. I believe that you should publish everything, write it all. Yeah, I miss when I don't get a chance to write. Like when I wanted to do 3 writing sprints last week and I had to forego Wednesday, I felt a little off. Starting next week, though, I plan on doing 5 writing sprints, Monday through Friday, at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. That's going to be a mixture of doing college work, working on my book, working on the book cover. So I've been wanting to do 5 writing sprints throughout the entire week anyway, from the very beginning. But with having the added pressure of college to it, now I've got a reason to do it. So, but that's next week. This week I'm just doing the today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday I was going to work on Colorado Plays, Tube Arcanum. But if I'm going to be putting stuff on the back burner, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to find out. The sooner I figure things out, the better for everybody. So, anywho, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always hit me up on social media, Threads, Instagram. I'm usually fairly responsive on Instagram and Threads. YouTube is probably the quickest one because as soon as I get a message pop up on my screen, I reply to it no matter what I'm doing because that's how I am. I occasionally check Twitter, but Twitter is such a dumpster fire nowadays that I am going to be moving myself from Twitter to Blue Sky. I just haven't done it yet. I did create the Blue Sky account. I just can't remember what the account was. So as soon as I get that figured out, I'll let you know. Hate social media. But when in Rome, so yeah, the best way to get a hold of me is probably YouTube, or you can use the contact form on WriterSanctuary.com's website. If you go to the website, it's at the very top, contact form. Remember, if you have a book, at least one book published, you want to be part of a live interview, use the author interview contact form on WriterSanctuary.com. That way we can get you scheduled. I have my next scheduled author will be on May 19th. That's Sean Gregory. And we'll get to know a little bit more about him in the coming weeks. So have a great one. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I don't know if we really resolved anything today, but at least we got to hang out. Sorry it wasn't as fun as normal, but it's just something that's been weighing on my mind for the last few days. So I guess we'll find out just how interesting everything gets. Have a good one, and I will see some of you tomorrow at the writing sprint, 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Have a good evening. See, I like the idea of the retreat. All right.